Good evening. Welcome to the Berlin Board of Education meeting. It's Monday, June 14th, 2021. Before we call the meeting to order, Superintendent Benigni is going to just make a quick announcement.
I recognize that the school district has not changed the mask policy yet, but I am saying to you this evening, if you are comfortable removing your mask and you've been vaccinated, I'm going to leave it up to you entirely. The Board of Education also, we have a lengthy meeting. We're going to allow the mask to be removed. They're going to make it up to you individually.
All right. Thank you for that. We're going to start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I've asked our student board rep, Ryan, to start us out with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, this is a very exciting meeting tonight. We have a lot of special presentations, and it's always nice to see a full room. And we have the opportunity to honor students, faculty, and staff this evening. So we are going to start out with, I'm going to turn it over to the superintendent.
Thank you very much. It is my privilege to recognize our Teacher of the Year for the 2021-2022 school year. Please join me in congratulating Patricia Pyrus, school counselor at Berlin High School, as the Berlin's Teacher of the Year for 2022. I know many of you are looking around, where is Patty? So we announce it this evening, then in the fall, we actually have Patty here at a board meeting. She'll do a presentation at that time, but this is just a formal announcement that takes place this evening. So let me just read a little bit about Patty. Patty's been a school counselor at Berlin High School since 2006, and in 2014, she became the department supervisor for school counseling. Patty credits lessons learned as a child for her commitment to doing anything that she does well. She spends part of each day reflecting on what is going well and learning new techniques to provide authentic learning opportunities. It is because of this continuous improvement that she has initiated the arduous process of becoming a RAMP certified, a prestigious recognition by the ASCA as exhibiting components of exemplary program. Patty has been instrumental in leading the department work and establishing student workshops to ensure that BHS counselors are an active presence in the classroom and are able to provide all students with developmental guidance curriculum. A colleague shared, students appreciate Patty because she acknowledges their individuality and is focused on addressing their unique needs. At her core, Patty has a passion for ensuring that every student has equitable access and every student's potential is nurtured so students may feel confident in their ability to make a positive difference in our school and community, as well as a larger, diverse global society. Knowing Patty, and I was the assistant when Patty was moved to the department supervisor, Patty has done a phenomenal job in redefining that department. And in hearing from other schools, the work and the college guidance that she's put in place is second to none. I'm very proud to have Patty as our Teacher of the Year for the 2021-22 school year. Congratulations again. Without paraprofessionals, we have well over 100 paraprofessionals in the district. The district couldn't operate. So this individual is our Paraprofessional of the Year. Please join me in congratulating Christy Ketley from Mary E. Griswold School as Berlin's Paraprofessional for the 2021-22 school year. Christy is a dedicated and diligent staff member in the SNAP program. She is the go-to person when a new student may need some additional behavior support. She is able to think on her feet in challenging situations in order to help a student achieve success. She is firm, fair, and consistent with her expectations. She is able to modify on the fly and to adjust to whatever situation presents itself. She models strategies for other paraprofessionals and teachers. She's a team player, and her willingness to work closely with support staff and classroom teachers is a notable strength. She always has the student's best interest in mind. She is one of the best. She embraces her role as a paraprofessional with enthusiasm, purpose, professionalism, and commitment. Patty and Christy will be honored and dedicated in a November board meeting, so they'll each get a chance to speak and share some words with you. So congratulations to both. Next, I'd like to ask David Holland, McGee art teacher, and also our K-12 art coordinator, to come forward. Dave's going to share a little about our awards. So you're going to want from here or there, Dave? All right, get to come to the podium, Dave. We like you up front.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. My name is Dave Holland. The Berlin Public Schools art teachers have put together a digital display of exemplar student works from all grades in all of the 5 Berlin Public Schools. We named our slideshow the Celebration of the Arts 2021, and it is posted on the district website. We then asked our wonderfully supportive administrators, assistant superintendent, and superintendent to each select one award winner from this display. We had a Principal's Choice Award from each of the 5 schools, one Assistant Superintendent's Choice Award, and one Superintendent's Choice Award. 7 awards in total. Each one will be accompanied by a creative caring kit from the New Britain Museum of American Art with an activity kit and a family pass. We will hang one of the selected art pieces in each building throughout the next year, and we are proud to celebrate these inspiring student-made works of art from such a talented and deserving work of young artists. On behalf of the art department, I would like to thank each of you for your continued help and support in bringing our visual arts program to the students, their families, and the community of Berlin. So we would like to call up each student one at a time with the principal and have the student just say a few words about their piece.
So if we could, thanks. So the first one is my selection. And this has been just a little history. This has been going on probably for the last 5 or 6 years that we've had the art show, and we've had selections at the art show. Unfortunately, this year it had to be virtual, but those selections then hang in the school, or the ones that I've selected over the years, or the assistant hang at the Board of Education for the last 5 or 6 years. So, and if it's something that the student would like to keep, then we get a copy of the original and we hang that. So, if you could show the. And I don't think Jasmine's here. Am I correct? I don't think Jasmine's here. So typically, the next student that comes up, we'll ask them to describe their artwork. But for me, there was a calming of looking at this picture that really touched me, of just looking at a snow-filled day with whether it's the sunrise or the sunset. To me, it looked like the sunrise, and it just made me feel very relaxed and calm, and that's why I chose it. And we'll recognize Jasmine. Okay, next, if I could have our assistant superintendent. Come on. Jasmine's not here, so there's
Thank you. I'd like to have Gabriella Foster come forward. Hello, Gabriella. How are you? I think it's a lot to ask a kindergartner to speak in front of the whole audience about her artwork, but would she like to? Would you like to talk about your art? No. That is okay. When I was 5 or 6, I wouldn't thought that was fun either. So I picked this piece because to me it really represents the joy of kindergarten art, and I love the bright colors, and I can't wait to have it hanging in my office if you'll let me borrow it for a year. Would you like that?
Next, if I could ask Berlin High School Principal Eileen Eustace to come forward.
Good evening, everyone. Congratulations to all of our student artists. And I selected a beautiful watercolor from Emma Labicus. I just love the shading, while there's not a lot of different colors in it, I really love the beautiful shading and the detail in this. So Emma, if you'd like to come forward.
This is my watercolor piece. I put a lot of effort into it, and I really do agree. I like the calming energy that it gives, and I'm really excited to have it hung up in the main office. So thank you.
Next, if I could have Principal Sal Urso come forward.
Thank you. So I picked a piece called Stronger Together, and just on time, Junia just walked in, and this is actually a piece that was done together. So Junia and Jatna, if you can come on up and join me up here. So we'll do it just like we rehearsed today. If you can tell us about, maybe you want to tell us about like how you made the piece and then what the piece symbolizes for you.
Hi, my name's Jatna. And I'm Janaya. And this is our piece, Stronger Together. We started this piece from directed study when we had nothing to do. And then we just started this project that means just if you're together in a group, that you could be stronger.
And to me, the message was that regardless of race, background, or beliefs, we're all people, and when together, we're stronger. And thank you for listening, and I hope you liked our piece.
All right, we love it. And their art teacher is here, Heather Ripley. If you could just stand for us, Heather. Thank you, Heather.
If I could have Griswold Principal Dave Kitzman come forward.
Good evening, everybody, and congratulations to our artists and recipients of these awards. I'd like to recognize Amelia Markowski. You want to come on up here, Amelia? Amelia, I want to let you know why I chose your artwork. I was looking at it, and I was looking at all of the artwork that was presented to me, and yours really stood out to me because it reminded me of Vincent van Gogh's paintings, with all the way you did your brushes and you swooped them around and the colors. And I was thinking, what better piece of artwork to have in our school all next year than yours? And so I'm so thankful that you did this for us. And I know Miss Lee is very proud of you, her art teacher. Where's Miss Lee? Oh, right next to me. We're both very proud of you. You did a wonderful job, Amelia. Thank you. Can you give me an elbow bump? Okay, good job.
If I could ask Hubbard Principal Al Sousa to come forward.
Good evening, everyone. Congratulations to all of our award recipients and young artists this evening. If I could have Chloe Murphy come up to the podium, please, so I can talk a little about her artwork. Chloe's not shy, so she's going to take the mic and close the show for me. I'll take 10 seconds just to kind of give a little bit why she's up here, so I'll do my part and then you can take it away. So if you look at her piece here, Dreamcatcher of Dreams, not to get overly deep, but it's been a pretty wild year, and just when I look at this, I just feel it's a very uplifting piece of artwork, and it like represents kind of like the spirit of childhood. I'm in elementary education, and so just that whole idea and concept of dreaming in all these colors just shows that, you know, children's spirit will not be denied no matter what the situation is. So I'm going to turn over to Chloe, and she'll speak much better than I just did. So go ahead.
I just wanted to thank my art teacher, Mrs. Vernon, for encouraging me and helping me have ideas for this painting.
Like I said, better than what I just said. Congratulations. Congratulations.
If I could have Willard Principal Megan Sorois come forward.
Good evening and congratulations to all the award recipients. Our selection comes from Mila Romero Cabo. Unfortunately, she is not able to be here this evening. However, what stood out to me about this was first the use of color to show mood, and also the representational shapes and the details, so pretty spectacular for a first grader. I was able to speak to Mila earlier today. She told me that she created this with the colors of the rainbow in mind because they make her happy, so that is why she used those colors. So it certainly is bright and cheery, and again, representational of that mood. So congratulations to Mila. We are very proud of her and look forward to a bright artistic future. So thank you.
We could have one round of applause for all of our artists, please. Next, I'm going to turn the microphone over for a little while to our high school principal, Eileen Eustace. So, Eileen.
It is my pleasure to announce several Berlin High School recognitions this evening, and congratulations to all of our graduates are here, officially alumni. Thanks for coming back tonight, very exciting. So first, I would like to introduce our valedictorian and salutatorian, and I want to give them great credit for amazing speeches that they did the other night. We received so many compliments on your speeches, just wonderful job, all written themselves, really well performed at graduation. We were so, so proud of you. So first we will start with our Berlin High School valedictorian, Michaela Gorski. From advanced and honors to AP and UConn ECE courses, Michaela has challenged herself academically since entering Berlin High School and has earned numerous academic awards, including being selected as an AP Scholar with Distinction and a 2021 National Merit Scholarship Program Commended Student. In addition to rigorous academics, Michaela has been actively involved in multiple activities, both at school and in the community, including captain of the high school volleyball team, vice president of the National Honor Society, and president of the Student Council. She is musically inclined, participating in the high school's marching band, vocal ensembles, and earning leading roles in musical theater productions. Michaela is a peer tutor, president of the Writing Center, and a house leader in the Upbeat Peer Leadership Program, and a member of the Rho Kappa National Social Studies Honor Society. After graduation, she plans to attend Duke University, where she is considering studying biology with a concentration in genetics and a certificate in journalism. She is interested in the professions of genetic counseling and science journalism. Congratulations and best of luck at Duke, Michaela. Please come forward. All right. This. Sorry. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Next, we have our salutatorian, Michael Bryant. Round of applause. We'll start. Michael Bryant exemplifies teamwork, commitment, and dedication not only to his academics, but also his extracurricular activities. He has earned many academic awards during his tenure at Berlin High School and has taken advantage of extensive AP course offerings, resulting in selection as an AP Scholar with Distinction as well. Prior to entering junior year, Michael was one of only 19 students accepted into the Williams College Math Camp, a rigorous residential camp for mathematically gifted high school students. Michael has been involved in a variety of extracurricular activities, including National Honor Society, the Upbeat Peer Leadership Program, and president of the Math Club. He has been a 3-season peer partner in the school's Unified Sports Program, being selected as a runner-up in the CIAC Unified Sports Essay Contest and receiving the 2021 Unified Sports Mike Savage Teammate Award. As a dedicated member of Berlin's first robotics team since 7th grade, Michael has served as a middle school robotics mentor and was selected as team co-captain his senior year. He is a 2-time First Robotics Dean's List semifinalist and was among 24 New England students to reach this regional level. Michael plans to continue his involvement with First Robotics as a mentor while in college and beyond. He will be attending Duke University in the fall to pursue a double major in electrical engineering and computer science with a goal of someday working in the robotics industry. Congratulations, and we wish you all the best at Duke, Michael. Next, we would like to introduce our Connecticut Association of School Scholar Athletes. The Scholar Athlete Program annually recognizes two high school seniors from each member high school whose academic and athletic careers have been exemplary, whose personal standards and achievements are a model to others, and who possess high levels of integrity, self-discipline, and courage. First, Jacob Lindsay. Jacob Lindsay is an extremely well-rounded young man with an outstanding work ethic. Since freshman year, Jacob has impressed with his ability to persevere, take on an academically challenging program, volunteer his time, and be an avid golfer. Academically, Jacob has chosen to take on an extremely demanding course load. He's taken advantage of the highest level courses that are available to him each year. He has been in school, from AP, UConn, biology, chemistry, and physics to AP UConn English literature and composition. Jacob is very well-rounded with his knowledge. He has been on the honor roll every quarter of his high school career. His academic prowess has earned him a place in the top 1% of his class, a great accomplishment. Jacob is an integral part of the Berlin High School community. He is vice president of the Model UN Club, a student leader for the Writing Center, and captain of the men's golf team. He is a leader through and through, one who is approachable and easy to communicate with. Jacob has been playing golf since the age of 6, winning championships and traveling all over in tournaments. Jacob has been named to All-State 3 times over his high school career and represented our team with grace and class. Congratulations, Jacob, and best of luck at RPI. Congratulations. Congrats, Jacob. Next, we have Jenna Zupp. Jenna is a well-deserving recipient for the Scholar Athlete Award, as she is both an exemplary student and athlete. Throughout her high school career, Jenna has challenged herself with advanced placement and UConn ECE coursework where appropriate. Jenna maintains a healthy, productive balance between academic and extracurricular activities so she can put her best efforts into all of her commitments and create a high-quality product. Outside of the classroom, Jenna is actively involved in athletics, participating in Premier Soccer since 6th grade. As a BHS varsity athlete, she has been named to the All-Academic Team, All-Conference Team, and the All-Herald Team annually, and she earned All-State in soccer. Jenna has also been named to travel softball since 8th grade. As a BHS varsity softball player, she has been named to the All-Academic Team as well as recognized as the Hartford's Currents Athlete of the Week and the Fab 15. Jenna has been captain of the softball team since sophomore year, and she is an inspiring, supportive captain. She leads by example, but she is also the first to step in to cheer for and offer constructive feedback to her teammates. Her coaches rely on her to take the lead, and she doesn't let them down. Jenna also gives back to her community, and she contributes her athletic skills and talents by volunteering to coach and facilitate annual clinics and camps. She also helps manage the TCOP fundraising organization. She volunteers at the local food pantry, and she is a member of the Interact Club. In the classroom and in athletics, Jenna does the right thing even when no one is watching. Her positive attitude and exemplary work ethic help her stand out amongst her peers. Congratulations, Jenna, as you move on to St. Joe's to study and play soccer and softball. Next, we would like to recognize our Connecticut Association of Schools Arts Awards. The Connecticut Association of Schools Arts Awards annually honor 2 outstanding seniors from each member school who excel in the performing or visual arts. While excelling in the performing or visual arts is of primary importance, scholarship and leadership are also supporting criteria. For the performing arts, we honor Clemens Henning. Clemens is an extremely well-rounded young man with an outstanding work ethic. Clemens has the ability to pick up on many things very easily, whether that be something he is doing for his academics, music, or a new hobby. Clemens absorbs the information and retains it. Academically, Clemens has chosen to take on an extremely demanding course load. He has taken advantage of the highest level courses that are available to him each year he has been in school, all of which have paid off for him. On top of the academic knowledge, Clemens has traveled quite a bit and has had real-world experiences. As a 5th grader, Clemens went to Germany to attend school. Although he did not know the language, he persevered, and within 3 months' time, he was able to function as if he had been a student there his whole life. Clemens is an integral part of the Berlin High School community. He is a member of the Redcoat Marching Band, where he has earned the position of low brass section leader. This talent has led him into the community to perform at public events for the Berlin Historical Society and to become a member of the Springfield Youth Orchestra and the Greater Hartford Youth Wind Ensemble. During his junior year, Clemens was selected and performed for the National Association for Music Educators All National Honors Ensemble. Clemens has also been on stage crew since his freshman year, and this year participated in the ensemble for Mamma Mia. Clemens, through all of his experiences and hard work, has grown into a young man who is confident, charismatic, resourceful, and talented. Congratulations, and we wish you well at Bard College. Next, for the visual arts, we would like to recognize Catherine Markey. Catherine Markey is a young lady with a multitude of talents. She has worked hard academically, is a fantastic artist, and she travels around the country as a junior handler for the American Kennel Club. She has had to learn the art of balancing all that she has on her plate. The perseverance she has shown will take her far and serve her well throughout life. Throughout her high school career, Catherine has taken on a challenging course load, pushing herself academically to be the best that she can be. She looks forward to using her artistic ability as she embarks upon a career in film. On top of maintaining a rigorous academic program, she has taken on many leadership roles both in school and with the American Kennel Club. As a junior handler mentor, Catherine supports and gives feedback to 2 younger handlers to help them improve their technique. She has also participated in Upbeat. Further, she has been a student leader for the ADL program we have at school, where she assisted in running the program The Truth About Hate, teaching others about bias and bullying, and helping to combat it. Catherine is a gifted artist who loves design work and all types of mediums using themes that embody female empowerment and confidence. Her art teacher, Mrs. Miller, was so impressed with her commitment to her artwork as she balanced so many other things this school year. Congratulations, Catherine, and best of luck at UConn. Next, we would like to recognize students for All-State Chorus and All-State Band. The Connecticut Music Educators Association offers opportunities for students to participate in all-state festival ensembles. Students who have successfully completed participation in their high school region festival are eligible to audition for All-State during that same school year, and if selected, will create music alongside the finest high school musicians in the state under the direction of regionally and nationally celebrated conductors. This year, the following students were selected. Hold your applause till I've called all of them. For All-State Chorus, Meredith Gendro. For All-State Band, Clemens Henning, Brendan Melcarney, and Alexandra Tetzo. If you come forward. Next, we'd like to announce the Connecticut Association for Boards of Education Student Leadership Awards. The CABE Student Leadership Awards program is designed to honor Connecticut high school and middle school students who exhibit exemplary leadership skills. 2 students from each member school are eligible. First, for Berlin High School, is Erica Lavoie. Persistent, responsible, and intelligent are just a few words to describe Erica. She has shown that she has a great work ethic and is able to challenge herself, manage her time, and seek help if needed. Throughout high school, Erica has challenged herself in all areas of study, but really enjoys the sciences as she would like to pursue a career in drug research and development. Her academic abilities exceed those of many of her peers. She has chosen to take some of the hardest courses we offer, such as AP UConn Chemistry, AP Physics, and UConn Spanish 5. Erica has been very involved in many activities at the high school and surrounding communities. She is an avid soccer player, playing both for the high school and for a soccer club. On and off the field, she is a natural leader as she encourages others to do their best. Erica is compassionate towards others. She is involved in many community service roles, from tutoring her peers in math, chemistry, and writing, to being a camp counselor, to helping young people learn to play soccer. Erica has been working in the food service industry for the last 2 years, all while maintaining her own high standards and accomplishing everything she needs to so she can reach her goals. With the independence she shows as a young woman, Erica will find great success both in college and beyond. She will work hard to do her best, yet give time to help others. Congratulations, Erica, and best wishes at UConn. Our next CABE Award winner for Berlin High School is Peter Cohen. Peter's greatest personal strength is his willingness to enthusiastically take on new challenges, whether it is his academics or his extracurricular activities. Over the years, Peter has become more perceptive, motivated, and eager to better not only himself, but those around him as well. Peter has taken on the role of being his own advocate and speaking for himself. Academically, Peter has excelled in one of the most rigorous academic programs and has enrolled in some of the most challenging honors and advanced placement courses BHS has to offer. Peter strives for success in his courses and does exceptionally well. He has been recognized for his academic achievement through the LaSalle College Book Award junior year and being inducted into the National Honor Society. Peter's passion for being trilingual pushed him to pass the Spanish Seal of Biliteracy test. He has taken the reins of his business future by becoming a member of the DECA Business Chapter at BHS and was selected to be a part of Junior Achievement. During his junior year, he served as president for the Stanley Black & Decker Junior Achievement Group. He founded Screen Clean, which was a screen sanitizing company. Peter and his group raised over $2,000 selling shares for their company. Peter also was part of a junior achievement competition at the Hartford in which he earned first place. Outside of academics, Peter has been a member of the BHS soccer team for the past 4 years and was named captain. Peter is also a upbeat house leader for the Sports and Health House. He leads a group of 30 students to assist in volunteer projects around the community in relation to sports. Peter also serves as vice president of the class of 2021. He is a resilient young man who's impressive in all he has accomplished. Congratulations, Peter, and good luck at UConn. Next, I would like to introduce Mr. Sal Urso.
Okay, so we have two CABE Award winners. I'm going to call on Katie Zibel to actually come down while I'm speaking so we get to see your face. Katie's an 8th grader on Team 8B. She lives with her mom and dad and brother John, who is a junior at Berlin High School. In her spare time, she likes to play soccer. She's both on the McGee team and travel team. She also likes to spend time with her friends. Katie has an interest in technology and someday might want to work in that field. While she's at school, she's been described by her teachers as a person who serves as a role model for hard work, effort, and taking pride in her academic and athletic achievements. Katie is an excellent citizen as she is tuned into the feelings of her peers and takes actions to root and support them through kindness and compassion. This cheerleading is evident in large and smaller cooperative groups in the classroom and on the field. She is a consistent volunteer who supports the launching of classroom discussions, connections, and academic relevance. It's no wonder that Katie is receiving this recognition today, as her cumulative file shows that she's been a thoughtful, eager, friendly student as far back as 1st grade. I might also add that her teacher wrote a comment stating in 1st grade that she would miss her jokes, so Katie also has a sense of humor. Congratulations, Katie, and we wish you continued success next year at Berlin High. Congratulations, Katie. I'd like to call on Ryan Lavender. Ryan? Ryan's a 7th grader on Team 7B. He lives with his mom, dad, and brother Toby, who's a freshman at Berlin High School. In his spare time, he likes to play sports. He plays on the McGee baseball team, the McGee basketball team. He also plays football, and he likes to fish. His favorite subject is math. While he's at school, Ryan is described by his current team of teachers as a person who never backs away from a challenge or academic misconception. Instead, he applies his initial state of understanding and uses his natural talent to work the problem. Ryan demonstrates this characteristic in both independent and group settings. While he's working alongside his peers, he is overheard supporting and celebrating progress in a way that is authentic and caring. For example, it's not uncommon to hear Ryan use phrases like, "Hey, I've got you. Would it help if you looked at my response?" In short, Ryan's a person who demonstrates leadership skills in a way that is most respectable, and he is humble, calm, friendly, and compassionate. He is wise beyond his years, and we are fortunate to have him in our school for one more year. Congratulations, Ryan.
We're going to have Eileen come back up now.
So the next groups of students will ask you to come forward. And I think what I want to make a statement about is because we're recognizing our student leaders for this past school year. And it was a very challenging school year, as we all know. And without the leadership that you displayed this year in keeping a positive attitude, holding out hope, and also being very kind and compassionate with the adults as you were, kind of waiting for things to happen. You really set the tone for everybody else in the building, including the adults. And I cannot say thank you enough to our student leaders. It really inspired us to push and work to help make things happen. And we are, especially for our seniors, and for anybody else that was involved in activities towards the end of the year, we are so thankful that we were able to accomplish and do all of the things that we were able to do at the end of the school year to celebrate all of you. So first, I would like to recognize the New England School Development Council Awards for Academic Growth and Student Leadership and Learning are awarded to Sky Smith and Matthew Tierney. Next, I would like to recognize our class of 2021 class officers. So I'll read the whole group, and please come forward as I call your name. President John McGeever. Vice Presidents Peter Cohen and Brianna DeStoli. Secretary Gina Scalero. Treasurer Victoria Pietruha. And Social Chair Abby Furland. Thank you, everybody. Next, our student government officers for 2021, President Michaela Gorski, Vice President Gina Scalero, Secretary Emily Kobus, and Treasurer Gabby Foster. Next, I would like to recognize our National Honor Society officers for 2021, President Gabby Foster, Vice President Michaela Gorski, Secretary Gina Scalero, and Treasurer Ashley Wenzel. So again, thank you. You can see many of them wear many hats, and we really could not have gotten through this year without their student leadership, so it's very much appreciated. Great job, everybody.
All right, so at this time, I want to recognize our Student Board of Education representatives. It is an absolute honor and privilege to have Ryan and Lindsay sit at the table with us. Thank you so much for serving the Board of Education as our student board reps. Your input on various topics has been so incredibly valuable to the Board of Ed, especially in the past year and a half as we've had to consider and reconsider different items on the agenda with all the pandemic changes. So thank you so much for that. Your voice has just been so impactful to the whole board, and it's really important to have you guys here. We appreciate all your updates at all of the Board of Education meetings, so we know what's going on with the students at BHS. They do a very good job. Lindsay, thank you for providing detailed reports at all of our meetings. And Ryan, thank you for the past 2 years that you've served. Both of you have helped to provide insight when we needed it. And you helped to frame our thoughts and decisions when it comes to the students in Berlin. Ryan, we wish you the best of luck next year. I know I've asked you about 6 times where you're going, and now I remember GWU, and you're gonna do great there. I can't wait to hear how it goes. When you graduate and move back to Berlin, Connecticut, I encourage you to pull a petition and get your 154 signatures. We'd love to have you sitting at the table with us. And Lindsay, we know that you'll do great next year, and you will train your new board representative the same way Ryan trained you. So we look forward to working with you next year, Lindsay. And the Board of Education would just like to thank you both. We appreciate all that you've done and your dedication to our board, so thank you so much. And if you two could please come forward. You're not getting off that easy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Congratulations.
Thank you both very much. Good luck.
All right, so congratulations to all the students this evening. To all of our seniors, good luck wherever the future may take you. Anyone on the Board of Ed like to say anything about our recipients this evening? Well, go ahead, Tim.
I'm looking forward to the art going forward. We have a lot of kindergartners and first graders, so many, many years to come. That's going to be exciting.
All right, well, thank you guys so much. It's great to have a full house this evening. This is why we do what we do. So we're going to move on to committee reports and correspondence to the board. So I'm going to turn it over to Ryan and Lindsay. No, that's audience of citizens.
So the baseball team competed in the Class L state championship against Daniel Han. They unfortunately lost. We played a tough game, had a great season. The girls softball team and the boys tennis teams both earned conference titles in their championship games. The boys golf team placed 4th in the state tournament, and the ladies team placed 2nd. Sophomore Libby Dunn. Sophomore Libby Dunn placed 1st in the CIAC State Open, and Hannah Roman placed in the top 10. The girls track team is competing at the East Coast Track and Field Championships in New Jersey on June 23rd. At their Class M Double M Championships, they had 6 girls and 1 relay qualify for the state opens, and 2 relays earned all state honors, placing 1st. The junior class is holding a prom at Quads Amusement Park on Monday, the 21st, our last day of school. So there's going to be more formal prom events outside at the pavilion, and then they'll have access to the amusement park.
On Friday, June 11th, the senior class graduated at a wonderful ceremony at Sage Park. Family members got to see their students walk across the stage in person without masks, and we're lucky enough to have a beautiful day for that ceremony. The BHS band held Jazz with Pizzazz Night on Friday, June 4th to showcase various musical pieces, with the whole band playing in various small ensembles. And finally, the seniors this year got to partake in more normal senior events on their last days of school. We had our senior outing Friday, May 28th at Boulder Ridge, and the freshman class organized a senior breakfast and a yearbook signing. That was last Friday morning. And on Friday night into Saturday morning, we had our all-night grad party at Sunny's Place in Somers, Connecticut. And yeah, it's been great to have, like I said, a lot of these normal events for the past few days. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your report. And Ryan, thank you for your last report. Just to update you guys, once we finish up our committee reports, then we're going to take a brief recess before audience of citizens. So you can get up and go now, or you can just wait a few minutes. It's up to you. We won't take offense either way. Okay. Other committee reports. Tim, would you like to report? You guys can go. It's okay. We don't take offense to it. Thank you. Would you like to report?
I would love to report.
Great.
So last week, we had a Finance and Operations Committee meeting, and we talked about finalizing some of the numbers as we careen towards the end of the year and where the budget monies will be. And the board offices continue to look at those numbers, but we're optimistic that we will have some surplus. We will have some money to give back to the town. We will have some money to allocate towards some projects. So a lot of positive things out of the end of the year, which was good. We also had an ad hoc committee meeting to discuss some policies. Sadly, I was by myself with the superintendent. Nobody else wanted to join me, but we did discuss some policies that we'll be talking about later on this evening that are basically government mandate type policies with some updates coming down. So first readings later on.
Thank you so much. I believe that's the only committee report. Brian, do you have any correspondence to the board?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Dear Board of Education and friends, thank you so much for the plant. Your kind words during this time are warmly regarded. Angela Mahalik, Willard Clerical. Brian and Board of Education, thank you so much for the thoughtful gift. I love being at BHS and spending lunchtime serving them. Berlin High School has been the most courteous and very polite students. I hope you're able to substitute at the high school next year if needed. Enjoy the summer. Mary Bavaro. And I'm not going to read the whole correspondence, but I know that Ms. Dennis and I received, and all the board members received, there's some projects going on at the high school where a student's conducting a civic research project. And we had a chance to read that. That's Benjamin Rowe. I won't go through and read the whole document, but I've received several of these, and they sound excellent, and they're taking on a topic and doing some research on that. That's the correspondence to the board.
Yes, and I also received a letter from Olivia Marolda, I believe that's it, same project, and her and I had a nice conversation, and I was very impressed that she reached out and took the initiative to do so. All right, so moving on, I think at this point, since this is where we were going to take our break, since everyone have left, we are just going to keep going. That is the executive decision we have made. So would anyone like to address the board during audience of citizens? I did not receive any emails. Okay, moving on to item 4. It's a personnel matter for retirement teacher of world language, Teresa George.
Yes, Teresa George, formerly Teresa Dorsey, has been a world language teacher here at the high school for a number of years, and 34 years in Connecticut, but in Berlin here, I believe it's over 20 years. I'd like to wish Teresa successful and happy retirement. She's done an outstanding job here at the high school, and Teresa's been the go-to person anytime we needed something translated into Spanish or French. Teresa's always helped us out. So,
we have a motion.
I move to accept the retirement of Teresa George, teacher of world language at Berlin High School, effective June 30th, 2021, and also to thank her for the 19-plus years of service she has provided to the youth of Berlin, and wish her good health and happiness in her retirement years.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
So motion by Harry, second by Mark. Any discussion? All right, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, the vote is 8-0. Moving on to item 5, the consent agenda.
I'll move to accept the consent agenda as presented.
All right, we have a motion by Stephen Jenkins. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Carrie. Any discussion? All right, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? The vote is 8-0. Moving on to new business. So I will turn it over to Mr. Cugno to provide us an update on the facilities.
Evening, folks. Congratulations to everybody. Just a little report on facilities. I thought that since we were going into the summer season, that you should know what's going to be going on at some of our facilities, and it's a good amount of activity. We've got the final piece of renovation to McGee's Library Media Center, which is basically the lighting improvements, which we've had designed and are ready to go out to bid. We secondly are doing some major site work at Willard School, namely all the replacement of the concrete, the sidewalks, the stairs, and the loading dock in the front, and also some paving in the back in the playgrounds. We've done some design and planning on construction of student storage units at Hubbard, which I know they've been waiting for a while. The demolition and restoration of the patio in the front of McGee, which is going to make that a lot more pleasant and a lot more usable for everybody and the students. And of course, the ductwork at Berlin High School, which we're all very pleased about. We're also designing and outfitting a new band room at Griswold. Of course, the YMCA daycare facilities at McGee and Hubbard, which we'll speak about in a few moments. The renovation of the Transition Academy facility on Main Street, which is also part of the YMCA and Town of Berlin and Board of Ed arrangement. And lastly, some refurbishment at our own Board of Ed boardroom and foyer, which has been needed for a very, very long time, and I think the board's going to be very pleased with it. So that'll be what we have going on for both the summer and maybe a little part of the fall.
Questions? Okay, moving on. So the Berlin Visiting Nurse Association Service Agreement with the Board of Education for July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2021. This is an annual agreement between the Board of Ed and the VNA. Would you like to add anything to this?
Just at this current time, our nursing staff here in the schools is supervised by the VNA, which would be Wendy Russo, who's the director of nursing for the town. So we are required to have this agreement in place every school year at this current time.
Do we have a motion?
I move to approve the agreement between the Berlin Board of Education and the Berlin Visiting Nurses Association for the 2020-2021 school year.
Motion by Carrie. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mark. Any discussion?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Did we just move for the 2020-2021? This should be 21-22, correct?
You're right, too, yeah. So we need to just adjust that.
Thank you.
Did you want me to repeat it?
Yes.
Revise the
Go ahead.
motion? Okay, I will move to approve the agreement between the Berlin Board of Education and the Berlin Visiting Nurse Association for the 2021-2022 school year.
Thank you. All right, so the motion by Carrie, the second by Mark. Any discussion? Thank you, Tim, for picking up on that. I think on the regular agenda, it has the correct dates, and on the expanded agenda, it does not. So I just picked up on that. All right.
Jamie saw it first, for the record.
Thank you, Jamie. All right, no more discussion? Is there more discussion down there? No. Oh, just checking. All right, let's move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? 8-0. So now we're moving on to item C, setting of the 2021-2022 budget. It was I would say, a very successful budget year, and the town council has passed the $47,885,632 budget at the April 27th referendum. However, action is needed to set the budget as set by the town council that was passed at referendum. Is there anything you would like to add?
Having a budget that's at or above 3% for the past 3 years has allowed the schools to stay with the staffing, with appropriate staffing and programming and class sizes that the town has become used to and that I believe the community expects. So very much appreciate the work on the budget and those that came out and voted for the budget.
All right. Do we have a motion?
I'll move that the Board of Education adopt an operating budget for the 2021-2022 year, the amount of $47,885,632 is set by the Town Council and passed at referendum on April 27th, 2021.
Do we have a second?
Second.
So the motion by Mark and the second by Steve Weber. Any discussion on the budget? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, the vote is 8-0. We are moving on to the policy review and revision. Would you like to speak on that?
Both of these policies are model policies from Shipman and Goodwin that we did modify into the Berlin format. Both of the policies deal with Title IX and Title IX compliance. There was new legislation at the federal level for Title IX that was passed, and many boards of education at this time are rapidly trying to update their policies on the Title IX. So this is the first reading of it, and what really prompted it, we had a training with all administrators for over 3 hours with an attorney going over the Title IX, and the Title IX requirements have changed drastically, and they're much more prescribed, much more involved, and the need for additional personnel to be involved is now a requirement. You need specific individuals to wear different hats during the process and the timelines and what's required. So I think the sooner that we have these policies in as adopted policies, the better.
Thank you. So this is the first reading. There is no action required tonight. The second reading and adoption is going to be at our next board meeting on July 12th. So moving on to the request for naming of the basketball courts at Berlin High School. So this evening, we are not taking action on this. This is just an opportunity for us to come together as a board for the first time and have this discussion. The information was posted in Schoology. So I'm going to turn it over to the superintendent to add a little bit more on this. For those, I'm assuming everyone has read the letter.
So upon entering the board meeting, members of the Cobb Foundation, the mother who wrote the letter and part of the foundation, met with me in the lobby and said they couldn't stay tonight. They asked if we would put it on the July agenda to talk further and not take action tonight. A little bit about naming of just in past. What I sent to you was the letter that went to Jen Ochoa, who is the director for the town, at the town. I know she directs all of the athletics and Park and Rec, but she has other roles too. But it went to that department. I know that with that letter and with the presentation by the foundation, that their board did approve it. The difficulty is it's an outside facility at the high school. Therefore, the town has some jurisdiction on the outside facility. But what they've said is they're waiting to see what we do, whether they're going to approve it or not. So they approved it. Now they're waiting for the board to decide if they're going to approve it. Previously, we did, at the request of Mrs. Cobb, hang Tyler's number and a name in the gym currently, which hangs on the far entrance, the lobby entrance, on the wall there. And it deems some discussion by the board if the Park and Rec is going to go on what the board says they should do, in naming of the facility. What they did approve is also to have the same type of signage that, if you look at the tennis courts currently, it's for Rex Smith, who coached tennis here, I think, for almost 30 years. They're requesting the same type of signage that would need to be approved by, I believe it's the public zoning, which, according to the town manager I spoke to today, he feels that they will approve that type of signage. So I just think it's a question of when something's named, we don't have a policy. We used to. What I sent to you in the board update is current shipment model policies for naming of facilities. We had that, and when we updated the old policy book, this is years ago, which was done on a typewriter, some of the policies were removed. That was one that was removed, but I sent you that policy so that you could have an understanding of what a policy looks like in for naming. So I don't know if anyone has any further questions I can answer about it, but I think that's as much information as I can share with you about where it is currently and the request by the foundation.
Does anyone have any questions? Go ahead.
I just have some general thoughts and comments that I'd like us to consider moving forward, given the limited space and opportunity for naming of facilities, and on the unfortunate passing of so many of our students, and how we can memorialize their passion and their input and involvement with the schools without unfortunately running out of areas to do that. And off the top of my head, I'm thinking maybe a more global, symbolic place where we could add additional students in the years to come that unfortunately do pass before they're allowed to graduate and move on.
So what we did in the gym on that line, Steve, is that we did hang his number on Tyler's number on the wall. And what the AD said was, we're going to put it on the wall, and then when Tyler's sister graduates, that it would then come off the wall and have like a little ceremony, or even if it was after the sister left, have something there where the mother of the family was there and take it down, almost like at halftime. And some of the concern and discussion by the board at that time, and I know some of you around the board, is that, just like you're saying, if there are other students, they start to run out of places, not run out, but I don't want to say it the wrong way, but what was said by the board at that time was that you now have multiple students on the wall, and it becomes almost, not what it was meant to do in the first place, I guess. And so that was some discussion that took place before. We currently have, the Tom Galvin Media Center, who was a principal here for years. We currently have the James Day Gymnasium, who was the wrestling coach for years here. The Joe Serrana Media Center at McGee, the Rex Smith tennis courts when they were redone. So it's not as though we haven't had various facilities named after individuals that are deceased or individuals that are still with us.
Could I ask a clarifying question? I believe there's a banner at Sage for the same student, is that correct?
There is.
Yes.
Okay. So would that banner come down, or would this be in addition to the banner?
I don't know. I think that the banner at Sage, I don't recall that ever coming through the Board of Education, but then again, the outside property is the town. So even when we lease to the Y, like for Camp Thundermoon, we lease, anything that happens outside goes through the town, because they're like, so when they rent, they're paying the town, not the board, to use the fields. That's just, because it's town property. So I don't know. I know that, I know it didn't, I don't remember it coming through the board at all. I don't know if anyone else on the board. Do you remember anything coming through on that?
It did not, okay.
No. So, and the football helmet, it's not for Ryan Cobb.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
That's what I thought it was, but I don't think
But I don't know if that didn't come through the board, but it wouldn't because it's Sage. It
No,
comes
it
down.
went through the football.
Right, so,
Well, I think what's going to be most important here in this situation is an adoption of a new board policy around this, because I think this is something, it's a very sensitive topic. It's very personal to parents and families, or family members, whether they were teachers, administrators, community members, and it is a very sensitive topic. However, I know there has been times where us as a board, we've come together around topics similar to this, and, we always want to do what's right and best by the families and, the person who had passed, but at the same time, we want to be fair. So I think we need to move forward with the policy adoption.
okay, all of you have both copies of Shipman's most current model policies. I can resend them to you if you'd like. They were with the board update, not this past week, the week before, I believe, but I can resend those and put them in Schoology or I'll send them as an email attachment.
They were in the update. I'm just not sure how many people had the opportunity to read them from Friday until today. We'll see if there's any other questions, but would this be something that we can table and then revisit at our July 12th meeting?
We can put it right on the agenda, absolutely.
Is this a pressing matter at this time that needs to be voted on and moved forward with?
I think at this time, they're waiting for the board to make a decision, so whether we made it in July or had further discussion, I know the Cobb Foundation is going to attend according to what they shared this evening before starting our board meeting, but it will be discussed. We can start doing the policies as first reading would happen in July, second reading would happen in August, and then we could, pass them. If that's the direction the board would like to go, we can get those model policies and then tweak them for Berlin.
Does anyone else from the board have anything that they would like to add? Any questions, anything that you want us to consider or to think about prior to the next board meeting or to discuss at the July 12th meeting?
I know that we had a younger student in one of our elementary schools pass away several years ago, and we honored that memory. He was really little. I think there was like a stone, a plaque put on at the elementary school. I think there was a tree, if I remember correctly, and then we also honored that same student at Sage, and because he played flag football, and they put a tree with a plaque for him. So we may want to consider, I'm not necessarily in this situation, but like if unfortunate events happen like that again, to make it, depending on the situation, like benches, trees, things like that as well. Considering what Steve had said too, like you would run out of facilities. And then if we have, teachers or whatnot pass as well or something happen, we want to honor everybody.
And in a lot of the fortunate mishaps, we have many foundations that are giving to the community, such as the Cobb Foundation, such as the Ryan Lee Foundation, the Manzi Foundation, that have had these unfortunate tragedies that now give back to the community. So, you do want to recognize them.
Oh, absolutely.
But I think it's a matter of, to what level, and then I think, as everyone wants, you want the time and you want that memory to last. So obviously, having a gym or something at that level, it's then, okay, it's here for, an indefinite period of time, most likely. So I think there is a lot to consider here.
Just want to add to that point you made, Superintendent, about the foundations and the giving back and the partners to Berlin. And by all means, we appreciate all of that support, but at the same time, with parity to those who don't have that skill and ability to set up those foundations or run those foundations, whose children do pass with pride and passion. It's a balancing act to how to recognize them and to be fair and equitable with where we can dedicate that space.
I think if you look at the sample policies, you see that is addressed in the recommendations in there.
All right, so we will add that to our July 12th agenda, and that will be our first reading. All right, so we are going to move on to letter F, the YMCA lease update. So, Mr. Cugno, turn it over to you.
Madam President, if I may back up for a moment, before I get in trouble with the superintendent. I forgot something at my facilities report. We are also going to put up this summer new signs at all our facilities, including the Board of Ed. You noticed the Board of Ed sign that you've all been looking at every time you come over there, which is kind of an antique. That's going to be replaced with our new logo, a nice new sign, and something that we can be proud of. And also, kind of like the matching signs to that, but different sizes with not only the name of the school, also the logo of the district, and also the logo of the school are going to be placed at the entrances, or entrance drives, or whatever. Each school has a little different situation to it, but they're going to be put together, and they're going to be wood carved signs and done very, very nicely. We've seen some prototypes. So I just wanted to report that's also one of the projects that's going to be done during the summer. As far as the YMCA lease update, you all may remember that this includes, originally it included Berlin High School and a YMCA building at 362 Main Street. That's been changed around quite a bit after some good discussion with the town, the mayor, corporation council, et cetera, a couple of months back. Now the YMCA is proposing, and the town seems to be accepting, leases at McGee, Hubbard, and still 362 Main Street. Let me take a moment just to explain that. The daycare center that the YMCA wants to run at our schools would be placed in two different buildings. One in 3 or 4 different classrooms in McGee, and a smaller portion in a classroom in Hubbard. That would include normal daycare facilities and all the appropriate approvals to take care of not only the parents, the children, and obviously the staff. That's some of the stuff that's being designed right now and put in place. And thirdly, we are still planning on leasing from the YMCA 362 Main Street, which is the property that's next to Webster Bank on Main Street, to put in our transition academy. So those are the leases they're talking about. Those leases have been prepared at this point. They've been reviewed by the town manager, the corporation council, our offices. They're currently in front of the YMCA administration for them to do their final review. We will most probably have a final review also by our corp council. I'm expecting all that to be done in the following month, and we're also expecting that the improvements that have to be done to all those facilities to outfit not only the Transition Academy, but also the YMCA daycare. Daycare would be designed and started in July and hopefully completed, by August, possibly September. Any questions? Thank you.
I could just make a statement. Due to the nature of my brother, as I've repeated the first time we got into this discussion, my brother being the CEO of the Meriden and Britain Berlin YMCA, I have not been part of the discussions with the leases, nor will I be. I know that Jeff is in direct contact with the town council, as well as I know that they've been shared with Steve Jenkins as also reviewing those leases.
All right, thank you. So at this time, we will be moving into an executive session to discuss unaffiliated administrator contracts and personnel not covered by collective bargaining. Do we need a motion to go in? Yes.
Yep.
Anybody else come over this?
All right.
Just me.
Tim, would you?
Just invite me.
We're just inviting the superintendent. Tim, would you like to make the motion?
Love to.
Awesome.
I will move to enter into executive session to discuss unaffiliated administrators' contracts and personnel not covered by collective bargaining, inviting the superintendent with us.
Do we have a second? I will second it. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? 8-0. We will go into executive session, and then we will leave executive session and then close out the meeting.